When I first saw this platform, my excitement level went through the roof because I always look at things, honestly, through the marketing lens. What can we use to make our lives simpler? We are busy enough in our businesses. We don't need one more thing. And anything that can facilitate what I would call either engagement or a conversion with the added benefit of being able to create an environment that is not a Zoom a snooze. Because let's be real, we're zoomed out. There's no real pop there anymore. There's no way to really get your audience or your viewers engaged with you. I think when you see what our link is all about, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, because that's exactly the experience I had. It was like just a moment of, this is amazing from a business perspective. Now, there's a lot of other applications for it as well, but from a business perspective, I think those of you who are business owners, you're going to immediately see this. So let's just jump right in. Essentially, what I want to do is I want to walk you through why our link is different and how we're unique to other video conferencing tools like you mentioned Zoom. I primarily talk about Zoom because most of us are familiar. We're probably using it more than we may be using Google Meet or Teams. Now, that's not true for everybody, I get, but a lot of us are very familiar with the Zoom ecosystem. So I want to talk about, again, why we are uniquely different. So I have roughly 10 ways. It starts with branding. I know as business owners, branding is such a big feature, and yet a lot of the existing platforms out there don't allow us to have much control when it comes to our business being represented over theirs, right? If you go to Zoom, you can't do a lot to affect your color schemes or things of that nature. So I want to walk you through a few of the things that give you the ability to customize or AKA brand your meeting room. One, you can pick your name. If you want to use your personal name, I use mine. My room name is meet.rlink.com/Kim. So I am a personal brand. I could do Kim Garst, or if I had a business name, KG Enterprises or whatever, I could use whatever name that I wanted. And as long as it's available, but it gives us a branded URL that is super easy for us to pass on and be memorable to other people. So having a custom room name, I don't know, I give an example on the bottom of the screen here of what a Zoom link looks like. It's like zoom.us.j or /J and a bunch of random numbers, right? You can't repeat that to someone. It's just not going to be memorable. So the ability to brand your room name, I think, is super powerful. The ability to name your room or have that room headline as well. This could be a place where you put your company tagline, your company motto, and it's an event title or a speaker spotlight or a way to celebrate. Hey, we just hit 5,000 people in our Facebook group or whatever. You could have whatever you want. And this is customizable, meaning it's not one and done. You can change it out anytime that you want to. The same can be said for the room background. You can put a custom background here where it could be a representation of your a logo. I call it a logo bug, where your logo is basically put all over an image, or it could be a solid image. You could do whatever you want here, but it gives you a branding option that is not currently available in some of the other tools out there. You also have the ability to redirect traffic when someone leaves your meeting room. So this could be great because you could send them to like a feedback survey or some sort of a landing page, a product landing page, a booking calendar. If you're a coach or you're offering strategy sessions of some sort, you could send them directly to book a call. You could use your website, an events calendar, product pages. There's so many options here. And again, this is not one and done. You can change this out at any point in time based on what you're marketing, which I think is absolutely huge. We also have the ability to create custom or to customize your events on the fly. So this means that if you notice that in the middle of your meeting or as your meeting is just getting started, you've got you've got the title wrong or fill in the blank, right? You can go quickly fix it and it doesn't rectify it for anybody that's already in the room, but it'll certainly be fixed for anybody that's coming after that, in after that. They'll see the updated version. Or if you want your recording to be named something different and you just didn't think about it at the time, you're like, oh, golly, I wish I had thought of that. With other meeting platforms, you can change it, but being able to customize that event title in real time allows you that ability to shift things literally on the fly. But honestly, guys, I think one of the best features from a sales and marketing perspective is what I'm getting ready to share with you, which I call them, they're basically smart selling solutions, but they're done in such a way that not only can you create them, but I'm also going to show you how you can create them and share them. That's another feature. So hang in there. So one of the first features is what we call the button bars. Now, the reason this is super powerful is because these are customized clickable buttons. You can put whatever you want. So let me show you an example. I'm going to pop one up on the screen. If now, right now, these are just set up to go directly to those individual platforms. So if you were to click on any of them, you would go to Facebook or you'd go to LinkedIn or whatever, but you can customize these to your specific profiles. So if you want them to join you on Instagram, and again, this is just an example, you could take these and change them into whatever you want or make them whatever you want. So that's just a social example. But what if you had a bunch of resources that you wanted to share? You have a resource hub, or maybe you have a demo page or some sort of a knowledge base, newsletter signups, or you want to book a call, somebody you want to direct traffic. That's what this is all about. You're leveraging these button bars to send them somewhere. And this is the best part, it's done right within the meeting. Now, these button bars can also be used just to draw attention to things. Like you don't necessarily have to use them for traffic driving purposes, although they're great for that. You could just put something up that is just, you want to just draw attention. You want to highlight something. You want to draw eyes or emphasis to something. So you could use it in that capacity too. So the button bars are amazing. There is also something we call CTAs, or call to action banners. These are very similar to the button bars, except there's more viewable space. They are customizable, they're branded. You can change the color schemes out on any of either the button bars or the call to action banners with your color schemes, but they have clickable CTAs on them. So let me share a couple, or I'm sorry, you can click on the screen and drive traffic to somewhere else. So let me share a couple of examples. So let's say you're doing a webinar and you get to the part where you're asking for the money. Like you're like, okay, we're ready. Like you could create a CTA banner on your screen, just like the one that's here. You can display them in different places on your screen, but this particular one is on the left, right sidebar. And that is a clickable link, meaning if somebody clicks on that and goes to your sales page, they can facilitate the buy process right there from your event just by simply clicking on that link. So let's say you are maybe a real estate agent or you want to feature a product. You can see this one has an image, right? Where I'm physically showing this particular property at 123 Palm Avenue. Obviously, it's made up. But the point is that you can highlight anything that you want using these banners. And these, again, are clickable links. If you click on schedule private showing, this particular one's demo, so it's not going to take you anywhere, but it would if you set it up correctly. It would send them to wherever you want them to go. Here's another one. Let's say you are a coach or a consultant and you're giving away free strategy sessions. This is just a pop-up that shows up in the screen. You could also put this in the sidebar. You could put it on the left, the right, above the screen, below the screen. It's a viewable opportunity for people to go and do what you're trying to facilitate them to do. And again, it's an engagement tool. You could use this without a CTA. It could be used just to draw emphasis to something. So there's lots of opportunity to leverage these. It's just limited to your imagination. How can you take something that is built into the platform and use it to create moments in your events that is either going to draw attention, highlight things, or drive traffic? So the web page poppers are one of my favorites. So the web page poppers are interactive sales tools. They're dynamic widgets, so it gives you the ability to pull up a website that is interactive for each individual viewer. So let me give you an example of this. I've got our community page pulled up here. And if you were in this meeting with us, you would be able to navigate through this website. Each of you would be able to navigate through the website independently of one another. Meaning, let's just say we had Susie on the call with us, and Susie could come down here and she'd be like, "Oh, I'm going to join our link on Instagram." And maybe Tom is still up here. He's, "Oh, let me see what their website looks like." So each individual user can navigate independently of one another using this feature. This gives you immense opportunity to pull up a web page, and it could be any kind of web page. It could be something like we just did where we have all of the community links where they can go and pick their path. It could be a sales page. It could be a product demo page where you're just going through specific products and highlighting the individual use cases for those products. So there's so many ways that you can use the website popper. I think from a sales and marketing perspective, you're going to find all kinds of ways that you can leverage that feature. Another thing that I love is the ability to have a mechanism for delivering content within a meeting. So, how many of you guys have ever had a meeting where it's okay, I've got a video I want to share. Let me share my screen. Or, hey, I've got a presentation. Let me pull that presentation up and make sure I'm on the right screen. Oh my gosh, that is so frustrating. So there's a multitude of ways that you can use the media sharing or file sharing widgets. You can share audio. I'll share an audio file with you real quick.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Can you imagine if you were spotlighting a community member and you could sing happy birthday to them in the moment? Wouldn't that be super cool? Audio is, again, it can be anything. It can be any type of audio file that you want, but leveraging them for fun and engagement, I think would be smart. We can also, going back to the list, we can share a video. No more, you guys can't see what I'm doing right now, but I'm not opening up my screen. All I'm doing is going to the next thing in my widget folder, right? So I'm going to open up a video and show you how that would look on the screen.
Do you ever wish you'd played a part in a tech revolution before
Super simple, right? And so again, that's a video share. You can just have it. I'm just going down the list and I'm clicking on the next thing in the widget folder. And then the third way that you can use the media, the file sharing option, is it's twofold. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples. One is if you just want to upload a PDF and have the ability for your viewers to click a download button. So what does that look like? It would look like this. So click on a button to download the PDF. So that's one use case. So how many times have you wanted to share a resource with someone, a checklist or a workbook or a white paper or fill in the blank, right? This gives the ability for your viewers to click a download button and go right there. It'll download immediately for them. So that's one use case. The other use case is the slide option. So as you can see, I'm sharing slides on the screen right now. I'm not sharing my screen. I'm literally clicking on a series of images that I have created using the functionality of the widget option, the media sharing option. So you can upload your presentation as a PDF and it will convert those individual slides into images, just like the one that I'm sharing on the screen right now. This is an image that was in a presentation that I created, and now I can just pop it up on the screen. So literally when I have a presentation now, all I do is I upload it and I just navigate. I click to the next slide when I'm ready to click to the next slide. And it makes the presentations so much more seamless for the viewers, and it makes it so much easier for me because I don't have to go back and forth. I don't have to share a screen. I don't have to worry about, okay, Like for me, I'm usually on I have multiple screens. So if I have a presentation, I'm sharing a screen, I'm like, okay, I move my mouse. Is my mouse still on that screen or is it on this screen? And what am I clicking on? So just that like seamless presenter experience makes it so much easier on us as presenters, but it also makes the visuals on the other side of the experience much more robust. And it's not back and forth. Oh, let me get my screen up and all the things that we traditionally say as we're making that transition. But that said, there's also presentation tools for us as presenters. So, what does that look like? That's, I think, a huge opportunity for us. That is those of us who are consistently doing presentations of this nature or using a meeting platform in any capacity where you're sharing any kind of information. There's a couple of presenter tools. One is a timer widget, and I'm going to show you what that looks like in a moment. In fact, I'm just going to pop it up on the screen so that you can see what it looks like as I'm talking. So the timer widget is up in the corner here. I hope I'm pointing in the right direction. It's up in the corner, and you'll see that it'll start to change colors based on how it's set up. So if you're running a presentation, this is a warning. It's a great visual for those of us who are like, okay, you've still got some time, you're good to go. And then as the counter keeps continuing to count down, it will nudge me. Okay, you're getting close. Warning, you're starting to get close on time. And you can set these up to whatever. And this could be used for in instances where you're trying to manage your own time, but it could also be used in conjunction, like it's telling me, wrap this up right quick, Kim. You're speaking too long on this. But it could be used to manage speakers. If you've got a variety of people coming on and they're sharing information and you want to keep them on a timeline, then the timer is really great for exactly that. And then you're not holding up the card, almost over, or trying to send them a message, you need to wrap up, you're over time. There's another feature that I mentioned that is going to be hard for me to show you because it's only visible to the presenter. Since we're doing this from an outward presentation style from your perspective, I'm going to talk this through. A presenter note is basically like a teleprompter. You can put it in a variety of different places on your screen, but for me, I usually just use it at the top of my screen. So I'm going to share a couple of examples. So, like, I use them for my sales team for overcoming common objections, like those things that they throw up, like I got to talk to my husband or my significant other or whatever. We've created a series of customized prompts for my sales team. And now they can come in and we acknowledge their concern. Like, I totally understand budget constraints are a real challenge. Many of our current clients have the same concern. And then we pivot to the value, share that XYZ was spending $5,000 monthly on overtime before our solution cut it by $1,200. And anyway, we just basically have a pre-scripted response that we read through. So there's consistency and there's never that like flounder when you come up with something that you don't know exactly what to say or you leave something out. So for overcoming the objections, we've used it for that. We've also, I personally, I'm just giving you some of my use cases here. I use it to keep me on track. I am very down that rabbit hole and away I go, right? And that can happen to a lot of us. So keeping me on track, I use them for talking points. Okay, I want to make sure I talk about this. I want to make sure I talk about that. And I want to make sure I talk about the other thing. So I create presenter notes just to keep me focused and make sure that I hit all the talking points that I want to talk about. But you could also, if you are doing product demos, you could use them for product demos where, hey, one, you want to fill that water tank. You want to check the beans. This is like something like I'm just using this as an example, like for maybe a coffee demo, right? If your machine makes unusual noise, switch the back to the backup unit behind the unit or whatever the process flow is to walk them through some sort of a product demo. You can use it in those cases too. These are, again, just use cases for using the presenter notes. You can also use it, just like I said, as a teleprompter. If you're going to create a quick little video, just put your script in there and it's focused in the center of your screen. So as you can see, like I was just reading one, you probably didn't see my eyes going like this, right? I've just been focused in the center of the screen and I can see it within the right bandwidth, right, of my eyes. So it's not super obvious that I'm reading, but it allows me to say exactly what I want to say. So you could use it in that instance as well. So these are, again, really great use cases for how you could effectively use the presenter notes. Another feature that we have that is absolutely awesome is I call it the real time meeting translator. Now, this is an AI feature that we have. It gives your audience, your viewers, the ability to enable captions and live translations in their preferred language. Your users can select any language that they want using our platform. So if I'm speaking English and we have somebody from, let's say somebody from Albania, I'll choose a random and a little language. They can actually choose whatever I'm saying to be converted to Albanian in the captions. So this is super awesome because it gives us the ability to have a global audience in real time. So huge. I can't even say how huge that is, right? We also have the ability to multi platform stream. So if you are a streamer, a live streamer, and you want to be able to go live, you can live stream to up to 5 social networks at the same time: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever your audience is, you could stream to those using the R-Link ecosystem. Now, I want to key in on a couple of things that I think are distinctions that we haven't really talked about yet. One is our privacy and security. When you're using Zoom, you essentially are the product there. They are using your data, they are selling your data. We don't collect data here, and we have what we call unparalleled security through our blockchain technology. We also do not limit our meetings. So you can meet as long as you want to meet. If you are using a free account on some of the other platforms, you know that you have a meeting limit, right? 40 minutes for free. Some of the other packages depends on how much you're paying, is how much time you get. All of our packages have unlimited meeting lengths. So I think that is absolutely a distinction. We also have the ability to pull up chat highlights on the screen. So I'll just pull a feature one. You will be able to see it on the screen right now. I use the same example in the image. So if you wanted to highlight something that someone says, a comment or a question, there's just so many ways that you could leverage that little feature. Knowing that you have the ability to do that, I think is pretty awesome. Let's go on to the ability to create bundles. So the widgets are bundle. They have a bundle feature. So meaning if you create some custom widgets that are specific to your business, but you would like to share them with other people, you can actually quote unquote bundle them up and create a share link, and then that can go into someone else's R link room. So, how would that matter? Why would you even want to do such a thing? Let's say you have a sales team and you have some product demo buttons, you have special CTAs that you've created, or maybe you have an order form popper and you don't want everybody to have to recreate the wheel every time. You can create a bundle for that, and then you can share it with other sales reps on the team. Let's say you're a project manager. You could have a bundle that is an agenda timer, project management tool popper, maybe some document link buttons, and then you have the ability to share that bundle with whomever it would make sense to share it with. Let's say you're a coach or a creator. You could create promo buttons or session timers, demo pop ups, whatever. And then again, that gives you the ability to bundle those pre designed widgets that are potentially branded to your business for a specific use case, and then you can share that with other people. You could share content. Let's say you had a course, for example, and you wanted to create a series of widgets that would go with that course. It could be content. It could be like a video. It could be whatever. It could be uploadables, or you can give them the ability to download resources. This is really an opportunity for you to get your creative juices flowing. How could I use this bundle feature in such a way that would make my life so much easier? And honestly, super cool, because let's get real. Who else does this? There is no other tool out there that gives you this ability to create this ecosystem and then share it. A couple of things I want to highlight is we are a blockchain project and we do have security features. Obviously, that sets us apart. I talked about that just briefly a minute ago. But something that is, I think, even more powerful than, and I'm not negating the whole security and owning our own data and stuff of that nature. That's obviously super powerful. But have you ever had the opportunity to be rewarded for using a meeting platform? Does any of the other platforms, when you jump on and host a meeting or share it with someone else, reward you like with airline miles? Like our air or any like our credit card points, or no, there's no ecosystem for that in our link. We do have an ecosystem that is going to reward you where you're going to earn digital rewards, our blockchain rally tokens for platform activity. So, total game changer as it relates to being a differentiator and why this platform is so much more powerful than any of the other competitors out there. And then let's go head to head and take a look at cost. So our basic account is basically 10 bucks a month, and Zoom's first paid account is 15 bucks a month. I'm rounding up here. But I wanted to show you differentiators here. We talked about the fact that we have no limits on our meeting times. Zoom does. There's limits on participants. Our basic account has a limit of 100. We have all the other features, basically, we went out on, as my point. And that's before you even get to all the things I've already talked about, like all of the sales functionality that this tool brings to the table. Zoom and others don't have this functionality. But let's do a comparison on those for those of us who are doing webinars. I don't know if you realize how expensive, you probably do, if you're using Zoom for webinar functionality. It can go upwards. This is the low end of it. So if you're looking at the screen right now and you're looking at it and saying, okay, wow, I could be spending $20,000 a year, it can actually go up all the way to 65K, depending on how large your needs are, meaning how many people do you need on your webinars? So as you can see, the basic feature for Zoom Business is 20 bucks a month. We're $50 a month, but what that goes back to, you can only have 300 people on that Zoom, and they nickel and dime you for everything that you need going forward. So if you need more than 30 hours or you want a webinar event feature, you got to pay for that. So meaning if you want to host a webinar, you're paying that 20 bucks, but you're also paying $79 at a minimum. So when you start stacking what they're charging you for, ours is all inclusive, is my point. So for $49.95 a month, you get everything. You get all the bells and whistles. There's no up charges, no additional fees associated with it. You get all of the functionality without paying more for every time you turn around. So I think, of course, I'm a little prejudiced. I will say that I'm a little prejudiced when it comes to, we are a clear winner when it comes to this. It's a no-brainer.